Welcome to the NIS Open Week 2 hosted practice. I'm John Hammer and I'm here with Chris Jackson. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Fantastic. Ready for some hot Atlanta?
And that it is. Got the live practice up here. Get our replay and things going. Kick off the night. Tonight's going to be an abbreviated session. We're going to run for 30 minutes in the commentary tonight. Last week we went for an hour. We're going to cut it back, but we're going to leave the server open tonight for 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this week goes, considering the monster turnout we had last week.
We did have a full room last week.
I know we been doing some work here in Atlanta, and I think the biggest problem is going to be dealing with these dead-gum bumps. I wish we could get a repave going like the real track.
Yeah, I agree. Why don't you run us through some of the track info, Chris, while I get some of these cameras loaded up?
Well, we are looking at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I think we're going to be running 162 lap. And what else we got here? Going with the default state right now, or are we green?
We are running the default weather today. Default weather and 0% track state. Yes, I'm having some technical difficulties here. I can't seem to get the camera files loaded up, but we'll get to that here.
We got 103 track temp. Running earlier today in 114, and boy, that was slick.
A lot of the rooms have been cold this week for the A Open, I've noticed.
Now, do you think that relates to it's going to be a morning session?
Well, the A Open is, but I don't think that the NIS is.
NIS will be afternoon.
And we're going to have the 37 cars again.
Right. I like that. I think we should have went a full 40.
Seemed to be interesting last week.
And I realized the idea that the more cars you have on track, the more chances you have of problems arising. But I just think it makes it, I don't know, more competitive, you know. Like a full track, a busy track. It's like, get the feeling that something's really happening out there.
Yeah, I agree. See who we got on track here tonight. Greg Girk, Brian Bennett, Michael Campbell, Jason Martin, John Schulte, Greg Carter, Dan Oisel, Chris here with me, that's why he's in here, Malik Ray, myself obviously, Benny Holloway. Watch our drivers here for a little bit. Should be an interesting race. Bumpy turns 3 and 4 when the track gets hot and slick.
Yeah, some of the testing I did, it seemed like the track wanted to, particularly in 3 and 4, go a little bit tight. It's definitely two different ends of the track, because 1 and 2 is really nice, but 3 and 4, we still got some work to do in that one. We got good speed though overall, I think.
I'll just give a credit here to Nolan Scott, who provided that opening video, and Matt Booza, who's been helping with coordinate the series. The room here is put up by NoXqses Racing, and Chris and I are both from that team, although we're here acting independently. Just a little background on the intent of the coverage here. Just trying to expand the coverage. I know a lot of people do, we know a lot of people do cover the races, but in the real world they cover the practices, they cover the stuff throughout the week, and we thought we'd bring a little bit of the practice sessions and some of the runs here and see what the teams are doing to prepare. And most importantly, we're offering basically a free room to the service. A lot of people host rooms and whatnot. We hope to do this every week, so hopefully people get a chance to either participate in the race, or the practice, I mean, and if not, you know, maybe you can just sit down and watch it on YouTube and see what's going on and see how the track develops. And some people just like to have racing in the background, so it's one of the ways that it allows me to watch racing when I'm not actually involved, and watch it from my living room and see what everybody's doing. So
Information is good. You know, the more sources of information you can hopefully have a better chance of getting better. You know, sometimes you can learn a lot from just watching people run laps. So, you know, what we're doing here is not an end-all be-all tool, but I think it can play a big part in it.
yeah,
As the NiS series gets better, we'll get better.
so this will be a 50% race this week. Last week's race was a 100% full-length race. It's 250 miles. For those who don't know, it's a 1.5 mile quad oval. It's not actually a D-shaped oval. I believe they converted it in the 90s from and reversed the front stretch and the back stretch. The iRacing track scan is from 2006, my understanding. And most people refer to this place as Hotlanta because it's hot and it's slick.
And it's also considered, for that reason, the driver's track. This is one of those tracks out there where you have to wheel the car. You just can't put it on cruise control. I'm curious to see in the real track how fast they're going to get there when they repave it. I'd love to be able to drive a repaved Atlanta. It's so fast as it is.
The place is very fast, doing 205 into the corners. We've got our eye on John Schulte here. I'm just going to throw up the track information. Some of the stuff I've already talked about. 1.5 miles. Track's 103 degrees. Top 5 drivers so far here. We got Greg Gert, Brian Bennett, Jason Martin, and John Schulte.
Talk about fast. Schulte was doing right at 203 on entry there.
Not as many participants so far tonight, but we'll get some more people to show up here.
Well, participation is definitely going to be down this week simply because it's not Daytona.
That is true. That is true.
What do you think? Maybe we'll have 25% of what we had last week? Participation, race participation.
I would imagine. Going car here with Michael Campbell. Looks like these guys are forming up to do a run here. This will be good. Pretty exciting, the NIS this year. A lot of people are contributing. We've got, as I mentioned before, Matt Busa and Nolan Scott working with some people behind the scenes, Carlos Fonseca, Justin Schauer. Hope I got your name right there, Justin. iRacers Lounge is talking about the NIS pretty much every week. We got Tyler Hudson, not necessarily directly with NIS, but he's been commenting on a lot of the forum posts, coordinating with iRacing. Joshua Thornton providing chassis. We've got Apex Racing UK providing chassis and their Racing Academy. So a lot of individual team effort going into this to try and help promote this series. Very exciting time.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I really love seeing all that with people stepping forward. And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it Apex is doing videos also?
Yes. Apex Academy is it's actually really awesome. They're teamed up with One Up Motorsports, Josh Campbell, Tyler Hudson and One Up. They've been very successful. They have people in the Peak Series. Tyler's a previous champion.
Right.
Pretty exciting. Just got some of the guys out here working on the race run. Looking at the 8-pillar here with the canvas car.
I think one of the keys this week at Atlanta is patience. Patience with the track, with the drivers, and with that throttle.
The tires go away really quick here, even in iRacing. We lose tires in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a place for a two-tire pit stop. I mean, I guess somebody would make it work, but I personally wouldn't do it.
Well, we've been watching the Open Series this week, and people have been pitting after 3 laps. There's a caution.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those weeks where every time the yellow comes out, people are going to be getting foreign fuel.
The restarts are deadly. Deadly restarts here. Everybody will be chiming in. We're going easy on the start. Checkups will be pretty intense.
But I look for actually the most trouble to be in 3 and 4.
The wind is a factor. If you get a wind into turn 2, you can be really tight off of 2 and really loose off of 4.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people take into account or give credit to the wind here. It is definitely a factor. Just watching Justin here take a few laps. Hop down into his in-car here quick. A lot of debris on the track already, and this started out with a 0% track, green track. Pretty much means that there's no rubber buildup on the track. Something that they ran in the Peak Series to accumulate heat and rubber on the track, and it really impacted how the races turned out. So this week at Atlanta, I think that's going to be a really big deal. We didn't see that so much at Daytona. There was some of it, but people were using the second groove and it did come in. But in Atlanta, I'm really expecting to see this second groove to come in. We saw that in the Peak and Peak Series.
Indeed. Yeah, that was really nice to see that, and hope to see more of that in all the series. I mean, you know, we're not going to get everything in a simulation to be just like the real thing, but there's a lot of things we can get close, and there's some things we can get closer on.
.90 plus, clipping 200 in the draft.
So you think starting out loose and then by the end of a run getting tight, eh?
I don't know. This place is tricky. It always seems like if you're tight, you're going to get tighter, and if you're loose, you're going to get looser. But sometimes chassis specific, but that's the experience I've had. If you start out tight, you're probably going to get tighter.
Right.
What's your experience been? You the opposite?
No, it does vary from track to track. It did last year anyway, running the NiS. You know, some tracks tend to go tight, while others, for me anyway, it didn't really seem to change that much over a run. I guess that's really dependent upon how your car is set up and how good or not good your car is. I generally start off races pretty conservative, so I'm not pushing it hard at all, and so it tends to balance out over a run if you're able to get a decent run of, say, 20 plus laps.
Brian taking it through the grass there. Nice save, Brian.
And this is one of them kind of tracks where you can have, you know, a couple of 3 cautions, or you could have 14 of them.
They usually breed cautions too, because those restarts are tricky.
Yeah, indeed. And you know, inevitably somebody is going to need track position, so they're going to stay out on old tires, maybe 15 laps on their tires, and well, chaos ensues.
I wonder how many of these will come down to the last 5 to go or something. Justin's right up against that wall. Working that throttle. Nice run here for Justin. Justin's been helping with the NiS series since the NiS series started. We got forum posts, race recaps, free race.
Yeah, I like his posts for each week. Those are nice. All the videos.
Carlos does a nice job. A lot of good people helping out.
Well, after looks like 13 laps, he's about a second and a half off, which is kind of the norm for here. You're going to have a pretty significant fall off on the lap times.
Yeah. There's no going on old tires here, although, as you say, somebody will try it. But, well, you put 2 tires on and you're in for a ride. Let me see if we can catch one more run here. And we're going to bounce out.
Yeah, another week down. Maybe we're a little more polished. We'll see what we can come up with for next week. I personally just want to thank everybody that showed up. Everybody that's sitting and watching in. It's a little part in the big puzzle, and we hope to do our part. And just stay tuned. Just ride our way out here with Benny Holloway.
Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And we'll see you next week.